She looked at you, and you will never forget this look. There was something in that look that no language in the world can describe. You asked yourself, is she suffering? Does she need me? What should I do? And then it happened, the strangest, loudest thing you have ever experienced. Life has begun, right before your eyes, in the middle of the night. And you will never be the same again. That is no exaggeration. What does a cat really feel when giving birth? Not what we believe. What really happens inside her, that is what we will find out today. There are 3 things that almost nobody knows about this moment. Each of them will change the way you look at her forever. The first concerns her pain, or why it is different than we think. The second is a state that biologists call the instinct flow. The third is the first look between her and the little one, and what it triggers. Stay with me. What comes next really left me speechless. Let's start with the pain, because that is the first question everyone asks. You saw her, the tension, the trembling, the fast breaths. You thought, she is suffering. I must do something. I can hardly stand this. But here is what you didn't see, because it cannot be seen. Her body releases endorphins in this moment like never before in life. Not the ones that come after sports, the real ones, the ancient ones, the deep ones. Research with mammals shows the endorphin level reaches uniquely high values. This is no coincidence. This is biology that has worked for millions of years for this moment. Her body protects her, much more than you thought when you saw her there. We humans project our pain onto them. We see tension, think agony. But pain is subjective. A cat experiences this moment differently than we do. That is the first thing. The pain is real, embedded in something much bigger. Now the second thing, and this is what surprised me the most. When a cat is in labor, something biologists call instinct flow happens. Imagine, all distraction falls away, all fear, all the usual noise. What remains is pure action, pure being, pure and complete now. Not because she wants to, her brain has no other choice in this moment. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for pondering and hesitating, steps completely back. The ancient, the deep, the silent takes over, without words, without hesitation. She is no longer the cat that dozes on your sofa in the evening. She is something older, something that we humans hardly know anymore. You felt this moment when you watched her, this silence within her. As if she wasn't entirely here, as if she was somewhere you can't reach. That is not shock. That is not withdrawal. That is the instinct flow. She is exactly where she needs to be, completely, without distraction, without doubt. And in this state, in this moment of letting go, she does the impossible. She brings life into the world, without instructions, without help, without words. That deserves a second of silence, and I say that carefully. What happens inside you while you see this? Have you ever asked yourself that? You stand nearby. You cannot help. You do not know if you should. You feel something unnameable, awe and helplessness and wonder all at once. That is not a mistake. That is the only right human response to this moment. Because what you see was never meant for human eyes. It is a moment that has taken place in secret for millions of years. You are a witness to something most people are never allowed to see. That is a privilege, silent, invisible, unforgettable for the rest of your life. Now comes the third part. What happens when the little one is first there? Seconds. Only seconds. In these seconds, something arises that shapes their lives. She turns around. She smells. She licks. Without hesitation, without thinking. What happens in her brain is biochemically truly amazing and precise. It is almost identical to what happens in human mothers in the first minutes. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, released in a surge that overrides everything. Not as a feeling, but as a programming, deep, irrevocable, and absolutely unchangeable. In this moment, her brain decides, this little one belongs to me, forever. And that doesn't happen after hours or days, it happens in seconds. You saw it, this first moment between her and the little one. This first look, before she knew if it was alive, if everything was okay. This is not a theory. This is what you saw while you were just watching. When the birth is underway, contraction by contraction, her body works like a precision system. Every muscle fiber coordinates. Every breath is regulated. No thought distracts. This is not agony. This is the body doing what it was built to do. And here is something that almost nobody has ever heard. When she looks at you between contractions, that is not a cry for help. That is a check. She is checking. Am I safe? Is the environment calm? And if you are calm, breathing without panic, she gives herself the answer, yes. That is your role. Do not interfere. Be safe. Be calm. That is the greatest service you can do for her in this moment. We are conditioned to intervene, to help, to solve, but here, pausing is caring. Imagine, it is the third little one. The birth has already taken hours. She is exhausted. Anyone can see that, but she doesn't stop. Because her brain knows no signal to stop. No stop button, only forward. This is an instinct that is stronger than exhaustion, stronger than anything we know. You see a cat sleeping, and now you know she carries this inside her. This power you saw that night, it was always in her, waiting. What happens when the last little one is there and the contractions stop? Her body experiences something researchers describe and measure as a hormonal crash. The endorphins drop, the cortisol curve flattens, the tension subsides. What remains is an exhaustion so deep that you thought, is something wrong? But she sleeps. She lets the little one's nurse. Her body begins to recover. These seconds when she stopped fighting and started nurturing. This transition, the softest, fastest transition nature knows. Now I have to tell you exactly about this one look, the most important one. You know which one I mean, the one you will never forget. The moment she looks at the first one, not smells, really looks. And her pupils dilate, and she becomes very still. That is not a reflex. That is recognition. I know you. You belong to me. And in exactly this moment, you are no longer a spectator. You are a witness. Witness to something that has happened since the beginning of life, unceasingly. This look has nothing to do with you, and at the same time everything. Because you were there, because you were quiet, because you allowed her to. Do you remember how you breathed in that moment? Or did you stop breathing for a second because you didn't want to disturb? That was right. That was the rightest thing you have ever done. You let life come, without intervening, without judging. And she felt that you were there, not as a threat, as safety. That is the difference between an observer and a companion. You were a companion, in one of the oldest moments this universe knows. I sometimes wonder, what would she have told you if she could? Not about the birth, about the moment after, the first trembling purr. What would this purr have meant if it had words? Thank you for being there, for enduring what you didn't understand. Tell us in the comments, what did you think in that moment? This moment changes people, quietly, permanently, and in a way that stays. Because you understood that life cannot be explained. It can only be experienced. She looks at you, even now, weeks later, and you look back differently. This look she gave you, in the middle of birth, that was for you. Not as a request, as trust, as, I know you were there. That is enough. The trust, the silence, and this one look, they stay with you. That is what remains when everything else is forgotten.